If you're struggling with attracting high-paying clients with your social media and marketing efforts, chances are that your niche is not defined enough. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll have a clear niche to start specializing in and set yourself up for a 10K per month web design business. Let's dive in. Hello, my friend. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Adrian Somoza and I focus on helping talented freelance web designers grow their talent and charge what they are worth. And I run a mentorship program called the BONT that includes an online course, weekly live group training sessions, and a community of like-minded web designers. So if you want to speed up the process of getting to a six-figure web design business, I invite you to book a free strategy call with me where we'll dive deep into your business and we'll set up a strategy for you to get to 10K months. Now, let's dive into the topic of today. Step number one, choose your service. So before you even think about picking a niche, let's talk about the niche of your services, right? Most people tackle the niche before tackling the services, and the service is the main niche, right? So what you want to do is avoid being a generalist, where you do SEO, copywriting, development, analytics, CRO, right? And you do everything at a certain level, but you are not able to perform one thing at a high level. High-ticket clients are really looking for experts, not just generalists, and they are happy to pay premium prices, but have quality work delivered to them. Take this Dribble request as an example, right? 25K for one website. Specialization accelerates your learning curve dramatically. Maximizing every hour of learning helps you stand out faster. It really takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at one thing. So to become a true expert at one career, you have to say no to all of the rest. Focus on that one career, work full time, right? 8 hours a day for 5 years, and then you're gonna become an expert at that career. And then once you're an expert at one, you can always add a second service if you want. But you want to first be an expert at one thing, and that's the shortcut to 10K months, six-figure business, profitable businesses, and financial peace and creative challenge. By the way, if you have these goals and you want to achieve them faster, make sure to check the link below and schedule a free strategy call with me so we can talk if you're a good fit to work with me and join the BONT Club, and we can work together and you can get expert advice in scaling your business. Now, step number two is picking a niche or pick a niche. Niching down is filtering your clients so you can focus on a specific type of problem and a specific type of goal and help your clients achieve that goal from where they are challenged, get them from point A to point B as smoothly as possible. So when you specialize in that point A to point B solution, that allows you to optimize your business and maximize your profit and impact. So how to know if you're niched down properly, right? First off, pick an industry vertical, right? Like for example, architecture studios like Nicholas picked. Now, when you're picking an industry vertical, make sure that you don't mix verticals. For example, architecture and interior design studios. I've seen that happen and it's a really bad idea because bear in mind that within architecture alone, you have millions of businesses that you can target, and you just probably need 12 clients a year that pay you 10K each to have a six-figure business. You don't need more than that. So make sure that you pick an industry and it's one industry vertical, and probably within that industry vertical you will have to specialize even more because you will find there's a whole range of businesses within just architecture itself. So like architecture studios that are, for example, working for huge multi-millionaire projects for governments, right? Public transportation, right? Highways, stuff like that. And then there's going to be residential architects that work for families, right? So there's a whole spectrum of businesses within each industry vertical. So make sure that you pick one, not many. Okay, let's take a look at some considerations when picking your niche. First off, you want to specialize to create systems. So what you want to find really is businesses that have repeatable problems that need repeatable solutions. Number 2 is passion-driven success, right? So choose an industry that you feel really passionate about, not something that you don't really care for, because you will have to learn and specialize and learn a lot about this niche. So if you don't enjoy it, it's gonna be a nightmare for you. Number 3, decision maker access. Do you have access to the decision maker, right? Focus on niches where you can connect directly with the business owner, the CEO, the founder, not with a manager or some middleman. Number 4, high ticket versus low ticket businesses. So high ticket niches, right, require fewer clients, but significant revenue for each project. So for example, right, Pablo, one of my clients, designed a 6.5K website that helped a client gain 40K in revenue within 4 months. So in 4 months, his client got his return on the investment multiplied. Ideally, you want to pick a high ticket set of businesses where their ROI is going to be really big and really noticeable very quickly. But you could also pick lower ticket websites or businesses that will see lower ROI but still see ROI for the website, and maybe you can play with the volume there, right? So that's also a possibility. Number 5, profitability, right? Formal industries like, for example, medicine, law, or finance tend to have bigger budgets for custom web design. Right? It's not a law, but it's the usual norm, right? So profitability is subjective, right? For example, I know a designer who had successfully charged 5K for branding projects within the NGO's niche. So that might not seem lucrative, but it's still a lucrative for that designer. So passion is still critical. Bear this in mind, please. Without it, you may struggle to stay motivated when navigating challenges or working deeply with clients, okay? Number 6, leverage connections, right? Start with businesses you can easily connect with. For example, it could be in your local area, it could be past clients or clients within your existing network. For example, BONT Club member Miluska successfully targeted mass consumption companies for freelance work because she had worked in that niche for 10 years at company, right? And already had valuable contacts she could leverage. And she very quickly found some leads from there because she already had contacts in that network. And number 7 is, do they have an existing website, right? Usually the norm tends to be that when a business is starting out, they have very low budget and they won't invest in a high ticket web designer to do their website. It doesn't make sense. So they will start DIYing, they will buy a template, they will do it themselves, right? It's most likely that it's gonna pass some time and it's gonna require some maturity for example, architects to have good revenue to be able to invest in a custom-made website that really separates them from the competition, right? So usually clients in a middle ground will be the sweet spot for you to target, right? Not people in the beginning of their businesses or people who are multimillionaires and it's really difficult to get to them, right? If they have huge teams and you have to go through a lot of filters to get to the owner. Now, bear in mind that there are exceptions to this rule, right? Public figures, people who have a lot of money, might be a one-man business, but they still have a lot of money to invest. And even though they don't have an online presence, they might have the money to have a custom website done from scratch for their first website. I worked for a multimillionaire like that, and he paid 20K for his first website for one of his multiple endeavors, right? Now, last note on this, right? The best niche is the one that you finally pick. Hear me out. The best niche is the one that you finally pick. Don't let paralysis by analysis stop you from picking a niche. Give yourself a week from now and mark it in the calendar, and next week you have to pick a niche, okay? Don't let more time go by. You're most likely going to pick between 100 good niches. And so let's do an exercise and pick one, and then remember, say no to all the rest. Let's do the exercise, okay? Are you ready? Okay, so list first off 20 niches based on your interest, past clients, interests, or personal preferences, or even ideas from ChatGPT. Let's go. Come on. Okay, so now pick the top 5 that you would enjoy learning more about and working with. Let's go. All right, that was difficult, but you made it. Now, from this 5, now pick 3. Okay, we're getting there. If you're indecisive at this point, make a table with the considerations that you're having in your mind so that you can score them for each niche and you can have a result and see if one of them wins. You will probably realize that they are very close in the score. So if you do this exercise, just pick the one that has the highest score. And now, final step for this exercise, choose one and commit to it. All right, congratulations. Now you have a niche to focus on. Now, step number 3 is going to be to research your niche, okay? So this step is really key for you to gain confidence that this is the right niche for you and to position yourself as an expert as quickly as possible. So you can start with, first off, talk with people in the niche, right? Ideally, this is the best way to learn about the niche, is to get on conversations, get on calls with people within this niche. This will have multiple advantages. First off, you're gonna start building relationships, which is really the first KPI that you wanna focus on to sell high-ticket services, is how many relationships are you building? And it's gonna help you deeply understand and ask follow-up questions to the maybe shallow answers that they might give you, so that you can really get to the root of their pain points and goals. Trust me, I've done this and I know firsthand it's much more beneficial to just hop on a call than to do it with the next things that I'm going to share. So next thing that you can try is researching using ChatGPT. You can ask for the pain points, the goals, and how your services can help bridge that gap, right? And ChatGPT is going to give you generic advice. Now, bear in mind, it's going to be generic. It could be a first draft, maybe like 30% there, right? But I've done this exercise for my niche, my business, and I can tell you it's not accurate, okay? Now, browse websites within this niche, right? Start to find websites and start cataloging them, maybe saving them somewhere in a database so you can reference them and maybe potentially find leads from there as well. So that will also give you an idea of how much demand there is for websites within that niche already. And by the way, if there is demand, that's a good sign. Don't take it as a bad sign, right? Take it as a good sign that there's demand. So it's a good niche to focus on. And then check what other designers are doing within that niche, right? See if you can find web designers who are specializing in that niche, and check their copy, check what they're stating, right? Check their content to gain ideas for your own content. Of course, don't copy, don't steal, but just to gain some ideas. Now, step number 4, and we're finally there, right? You want to create your positioning statement. So your positioning statement will basically help you communicate what you do, what your offer is, and what your niche is to your ideal clients, so when they read it, they feel really compelled to work with you. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a basic formula, right, or structure for you to craft your positioning state. With the findings that you've done from the niche research, you will now pour that into this positioning statement. Okay, so let's go. First, let me give you quickly the structure. Okay, I am your role, right? So web designer. I help, and you put the niche that you focus on there. Then that are struggling with, and then you put client problems and pain points. And then two, and you put the results. So let me give you an example of this. I am an identity and web designer that helps medium-sized landscape design agencies that are struggling with low conversion rate in their website by elevating their visual identity and redesigning their website in a way that sets them apart from their competition, appeals more to the right clients, and increases their qualified leads, freeing up precious time to be invested in higher leverage activities. Now, by the way, don't just pick landscape design agencies and steal this positioning statement, because I haven't done research to build this, okay? So bear that in mind. That's it, my friends. So now you have a niche to focus on, and now you're ready to start posting content on social media and going after those type of clients and speak directly to their pain points and goals, becoming highly attractive for them to hire you over the sea of generalist web designers out there. Now, if you found this video valuable, imagine learning alongside me and other like-minded web designers in the BONT Club. Remember that that's my mentorship program where I go beyond just design skills and I teach you how to turn your skills into an income. So book a free strategy call to see if we're a fit to work together, and let's map out the steps that you need to take to get to 10K months in your web design business. Link is going to be below. That's it for today. Hope you found it valuable, and as always, my friend, let's bridge the gap one pixel at a time.